Namaste, beautiful family of light, both here at the Cosmic Center, on Zoom, and on Facebook Live. Baba Sharon here in Sarasota, Florida. I want to share something. It has to do with this book. It's called The Over Self Awakening, A Guide for the Schoolhouse of the Soul. And this is the work of Dr. Hurtak, okay, and also his wife Desiree Hurtak, but really it's the information that comes from Enoch. Okay, so this information, if you're not familiar with the keys of Enoch, okay, do look into it. They have the keys of Enoch.org. It is quite a amazing a story and experience with Dr. Hurtak. And why I'm bringing this up is because one of the things, Dr. Hurtak, he was a young scholar, and his background was in ancient languages. And so, here at the Cosmic Center, we do deal with ancient languages, or light languages, you could say. We work with the five languages, which are the higher languages, which mostly we do a lot of things in Hebrew because it is that ancient type of language. I had dreams regarding ancient Hebrew script and sounds and gematrias. But there's also the Sanskrit, Tibetan, there is Egyptian, that's how you got your Coptics, and you also have Chinese. And then from that, there's the variations that come from those sacred languages. And the idea behind this, and this is where we're beginning to awaken to the fact that our voice vibrations or the intention, say if somebody doesn't have a voice box, okay, the intention of that communication coming from the vibration of the voice box is very, very powerful. They've said that is the chakra of the throat. It's blue. And for many of us, that throat chakra is closed or not as activated. It becomes very activated when you find your voice. Okay. And to find your voice is going to require you to be in your authenticity and also in your integrity. Okay, these are the alignments, okay, of light and the frequency of unconditional love, okay, which is the path that we are on. And as you walk into your path and you say, I'm going to use my voice. I remember my voice. I am a divine co-creator. Okay, I think these thoughts and I sing it. And I'm going to talk about the singing, the vibration that comes from the voice box. Now, you go to different countries, like say, and what happened with Dr. Hurtak is he was in Egypt. And how this whole experience happened with him, he was literally taken, his body taken, not a channel, nothing. Like physically, he was wrapped in a pillar of light. The same thing can happen to us. Okay, where we're wrapped into a pillar or part of a Macabre and go into the ascended realms. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about over here that I don't lose track because it's really important. So, as you choose to align yourself, we're all here, whoever's listening to this, whoever is seeing this, whoever is part of what it is I'm talking about here right now, we are on our ascension, which is why I'm bringing this up. We're on the ascension path. We at a level of awake in this, or beginning to awaken, to say there's something more and I need to pierce through these delusions and these illusions of what's going through. And part of that is, again, finding your voice, which means finding your authenticity and having the courage, okay, to be your authentic self. I was on a panel for a mental health forum, and one of the things I said was about the idea of, truly being authentic, and it may take courage. And I had asked, who are the black sheeps in the audience? Had a group in the back that raised their hand. And they absolutely knew what I was saying. Other people, although they didn't say anything, but they knew exactly what I was talking about. Because a lot of times you have to play a role, okay? We have our different roles. And it's okay that we play different roles, but make sure we're playing the roles where we really feel that we are our true selves and not pretending to be, because that pretension is not going to work well for you physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. So we are in this ascension process right now. I spoke before a couple of weeks ago, had a dream. We're all in the ascension bus. I'm so happy about that. Archangel Michael and Raphael, they're there. And yes, we are now moving into the higher vibrations of where we're having experience with the whole life beings, okay? Not necessarily extraterrestrials, and we have those too, they're around, but also the whole life beings. I'm talking about like many people have experiences with, Yeshua, Archangel Michael, Raphael, there's a whole bunch, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. Yeah, those are real, moving into their field of vibration. And again, how do we do that? By being our authentic selves, being in integrity, and moving along that path of the higher heart of compassion and unconditional love. But what I wanted to show you here, which is where I believe we are at as a collective, okay? And I'm going to kind of throw this up over here. It looks like you see that little snake and there's a hawk. All right, there's a snake there on Facebook, and you can see the snake and a hawk. And what it is, you have the little man or woman, the human, okay, and then from the human, you see the snake, and then above the snake, you see the hawk. Now, I happened to open this up because I was thinking some thoughts, and I just said, and it opened up to this. And I was shown, some of you know the story, many years ago, that there was this imbalancing, purposeful imbalancing, keeping people in chaos. And the idea was to have the the polarities, balanced. And how they can be balanced is when that higher part comes in and it creates this triangle, right? That's what's going to keep it. In fact, this past Sunday, we had a whole meditation that just came in, boom, like that, to hold the anchored peace and the perfect balance. That happened yesterday. That happened yesterday. So what I saw back then was this disturbance. And to me, it looked like a lava tube that was horizontal, and it was going like this. And you could tell it wanted to be steady. Okay, you wanted it to be steady for something to anchor in, which would have been that triangle, that capstone that would have gone and held that. But there was interference. It couldn't do that. And very synchronistically, it was so vivid. It was the idea that humans are being manipulated through the emotional body. I got that really clear. And that a lot of times they're working through the reptilian brain, or the most ancient part of the brain that's being manipulated. So after that, I actually looked in the Keys of Enoch, and it had exactly what I experienced written down there. So where we are now, why I'm bringing this up, is here we have what the symbol is just as a snake. That's just the symbol of the snake. There is, or you could say the lava tube I was talking about that was back and forth like that. There is a resistance right now on a human collective, okay, to keep us distracted and in chaos. And I think all of us sense and know what's going on. I think all of us do, right? And one of the things, okay, that it is going to try to do, which has been very successful for millennia, okay, is fear. Okay, let's get you really fearful and chaos. Oh my gosh, this is happening. World War III. What about this? This can happen. Yeah, it's all of this energy, but I'm here to tell you that we are getting ready to go into the hawk. We're coming right here. This is what's going on right now. But this is going to be, as a collective, we're going to be the hawk. Now, those of us that are on a conscious spiritual path, like, no, we're on a path. We know about the ascension. We know that there's something more than this, and we are dedicated to move on that path. What I have to say to you is that no, we are evolving beyond our own limitation, our own personal journey, where many of us are hawking right now. That's a good word. We're hawking. We're hawking. We're beginning to soar. We're beginning to figure things out. It's becoming a cry. Wait a minute. Wait. I think I remember my cosmic origins. Wait a minute. I came here to do something important. Wait a minute. I'm from the ancient of days. Wait a minute. I'm in a simulation. I'm in a video game. This is not who I really am. It's an interesting experience for sure, but it's not the totality of who I am. This is called the Great Awakening. And then as we continue to hawk, all right, start to meet Archangel Michael and Raphael, or just have a sense of whoever it is, your ancestors, Buddha, whoever, whatever. I sense a presence. They're loving and supportive. And you're on your way. Even though in the midst of our physical 3D world, there's all this chaos and the gnashing of teeth, we do not have to participate in that. We can hawk along. Let's just all hawk along. And when we get that hawk, what is hawk? The hawk soars above the chaos. But as you're soaring above the chaos, what are you doing? You are no longer contributing to the chaos and the frequency of fear and limitation, because fear is limiting. And that is the agenda, worldwide agenda. Okay. And then when you understand the higher perspectives of things, okay, and remember that you can create your own armor of God and frequency, where you can say, okay, whatever planes you were, I just had that experience. I said, oh, no, you don't, because I remember who I am. And guess what? That situation had to disperse and disappear, because I know cosmic law. There are certain divine directives. And if you remember that you're a sovereign being and you come from the plural, you come from the source, you come from the highest, the aeon, excuse me, do you really know who I am? When they figure out that you figured out who you truly are, then things change. Things change like that. Then you're able to go into the world with more ease and grace. Then what you're able to do is radiate your frequency, your voice, okay, your heart out into the ethers, which is helping people. And then we do the names of God once a month, very, very powerful, where again, we're aligning with these vibrations, ancient vibrations of the Ancient of Days, that can literally recapitulate a circumstance. You could be in this a hall, for example, and then all of a sudden you find yourself and you're saying these words someplace else, because it is vibration. So I just didn't remember a first step to everything, okay, is finding your voice. And finding your voice means being in your authenticity. Okay. And I want to tell you that it may take courage for some to say, wow, for me to really be who I really am, who I really, really, really am, will empower others to do the same thing. Time to hawk, time for the great awakening, time for the ascension. And next week, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things again that we could do in our personal ascension. Okay. And the remembering of who we truly are. Know that there is great joy coming in as we move into the fifth dimension. It is really very exciting. And all of us are on that ascension bus. I'm telling you, if you're listening to my voice, we're all on that ascension bus. So stay tuned. Do check out the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light Facebook page, calendar events, what's going on. We have a lot that's going on. March 21st is going to be our 14th year, going 15 years. We're going to do a story about the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light, its origins. It will blow your mind, literally. When we show you the pictures, you're like, is that real? Yes, it is real. We're not just making this up, but now we are able to bring it out more into the open. More people are ready to receive this. This the Great Awakening happened. We are so excited about this. So with that, and check out our YouTube channel, our Facebook page. There's a lot going on. Thank you so much, beautiful family of light on Facebook Live. Thank you for all of your comments too. Thank you so much. I see you all over there. I'll read them afterwards, and we will see you next time. Namaste to our beautiful family of light on Facebook Live.